All-you-can-eat buffet employees, what is the most disgusting display of gluttony you have witnessed? Pizza buffet. Dude came in for lunch buffet and ate a pretty good amount. Fell asleep in his booth for a few hours, then ate buffet again for dinner. I watched a fight break out between a customer and a manager at an all-you-can-stack restaurant. You pay for a plate, and you can take as much as you can stack on a single plate. Anyway, this guy had his plate stacked about 12 plus inches high with food. As he was reaching for a serving spoon, he dropped his plate. He demanded another and the manager got pissed and told him he shouldn't have stacked it so high. He refused to give the man a refund. He pointed to a sign that said something about paying for dropped food. Apparently wasn't the first time this had happened. All you can eat prime rib special. First round you got prime rib, Vegas, mashed potatoes. Subsequent plates just prime rib. Guy did 8 plates. Lady came in with 2 small kids. Said she wouldn't pay for 2 kids because they wouldn't be eating. We were curious where the kids went at one point and found she was feeding them under the table like dogs. Been working in a Chinese buffet for 6 years. Here's my top. Guy about 18 years old at the ice cream counter, didn't have time to react and puked in the ice cream cans and on the floor. Looked at it, said nothing, and just walked away back to his table. Drunk dudes coming at around 6 PM. They ate full plates in like 20 minutes and puked everything under their table. We had to move every client out of this big section, capacity of about 60 places, because the smell was so bad. I was the one that had to put a mask on to clean everything. Extremely fat guy brought a big bag of candies, kind of Smarties, took it out of his pocket, put a shit ton of them on his desserts, and put the candy bag back in his pocket. I was his waiter and I think he told me about 4 times that we should have these candies in the buffet so he wouldn't have to bring his own. Old lady putting a plate full of chicken wings in her purse, probably to bring back home or something. No bags, nothing, just bare chicken wings directly in there. A regular client asking me where was the coffee flavored cake. We have a rotation for desserts, so that cake wasn't there that day. I told him, and he asked me if I could get some for him in the back store. After he insisted like 3x, I finally gave up and grabbed a piece in the fridge and gave him. We charge the drink to $50, but it's all you can drink. We see plenty of people drinking about 10 full glasses of Pepsi, and they complain when I bring the bill, and we charge them $2.50 for it. Some even insisted to talk to my manager. We served takeouts, and someone came to get his order. He looked at the buffet and asked me, "Do you think I could grab something to eat real quick?" while smiling. We often get this asked as a joke, so naturally I play that game and answered yes, of course. The guy literally walked over there, took an entire egg from our salad bar, ate it in one bite, then came back to pay his takeout. I had no idea what to say, and he just left like that. I probably have more, but those are the most obvious one. We have to deal with puke at least once a week, usually kids though. I don't even care anymore and find these situations rather funny. Watched a woman come in, go right to the dessert section, and pick up 4 plates of pumpkin pie. Then, as soon as more plates of pie are set out, she gets up before she's even finished eating the 4 slices she's already grabbed, cuts right in front of a kid about to grab a slice, and picks up 4 more plates. I should mention she didn't even finish them all. There were like 2 3/4 slices of pie on her table when she left. Golden Corral employee here. Once this very big lady started shitting her pants on the way to the bathroom. The shit kept falling through her shorts on the floor, in front of the bars and everything and everyone. After going to the bathroom, she proceeded to go back to her table and keep on eating. True story. Another non-employee, but this is a story I've shared before. Went to Golden Corral. For those not familiar, GC is the Walmart of buffets, with a friend's family in high school. Sat down with my food. They started to pray. While they were praying, and I politely sat with my head down, but my eyes open, a large sweaty man next to me looked me dead in the eye, barfed all over the floor, and then walked out of the restaurant like nothing happened. My little brother nearly got kicked out of Orion's Steakhouse. When he was like 12, he had a crazy high metabolism and put away like 5 steaks from their buffet at once. Went to get a 6th one and the guy grilling them up forbid him from getting another one. Manager was called. My dad got pissed. Brother got his 6th and 7th steak. Was a good night. Not an employee, but one time at Anice's I saw this surrealistically obese man. Hard to believe he could even walk, circling the buffet same time as I was, so I couldn't help but check out his technique. He loaded his plate with mountains of all the high carb stuff, a Matterhorn of macaroni salad, that kind of thing. Then he got another plate that he loaded up with JoJo potato wedges, went over to the dessert bar, and drowned the potatoes in chocolate syrup. That's when we made eye contact, and it was the saddest thing I've ever seen. I sunk deep in his fat, and they were fairly crying out, "Don't judge me. I can't help it." Haunts me to this day. Witnessed a family of 4 at a Yosushi create multiple mountainous stacks of those little plates on their table. Some were chin height. Plot twist though, they wasted a disgusting amount of it. I don't think they really understood how it worked, and were actually shocked when the waiter took a literal 10 minutes counting everything up, and handed them a £400 bill. Was a definite "did that just fucking happen" moment. My friend ran a Golden Corral in Omaha, and he told me this older gentleman, skinny guy, ate like 5 plates, and my friend kept noticing him running to the bathroom over the course of the 5 hours he was there. Eventually he followed him into the bathroom, and heard him vomiting in a stall. He was binging and purging his meal over and over again. He was asked to leave while in the stall. The guy left so fast as he seemed very embarrassed. Left a gross mess as well on the ground and back of the toilet. Not an employee, but still relevant. When I was a kid, my mom, dad and I would go to a Chinese buffet quite often. My dad would put a mountain of food on his plate, then never finish it. He'd then proceed to lay down in the restaurant floor and take a nap. He also did the mountain of food thing at other places like Golden Corral, but he only laid down in the floor at the Chinese place. 7 years of pizza buffet experience. I've seen salad bowls full of ranch. I've seen huge gluttonous Southern Baptist preachers with a stack of pizza because they are too fat and lazy to make that many trips. We had a regular who came in 2 times a week. We called him Belly Shirt Guy, who would stack a whole pizza on each plate per trip on top of unlimited pasta. His gut hung down below his shirt. Great turnaround for him though, because he started eating salads every trip. By the time I left, the man has lost a good 75 pounds and actually looked healthy. Not an employee, but I was at a Golden Corral in the South once. Walking through the line, I stopped for about 7 seconds, where they had cake, trying to decide between carrot and chocolate, and someone literally walked up behind me, lightly put their hand on my waist, and tried to push me out of the way. Obligatory not an employee, but I ate at Sis's Pizza recently with a friend, and it really made me not want to go back anytime soon. I think the highlight of the experience was an incredibly obese woman who just finished several plates of pizza, and when one of her family members mentioned she should probably slow down because of her high cholesterol, she said it was okay because she made a salad, and then proceeded to point at a bowl that was so overly saturated with ranch, croutons, bacon bits and cheese that you couldn't see a single bit of green in the bowl. As the conversation unfolded and she continued to argue her point with the people at the table, I was shocked because there was 3 major holes in her logic. 1. She assumed that by eating something healthy it magically cancelled out all the unhealthy food that she ate. 2. She believed that her ranch soup was healthy because everything with the label salad is automatically healthy. 3. She thought that just making the salad gave you all of its nutritional benefits, that you just have to appear to eat healthy to actually be healthy. She never actually ate the salad, but kept insisting that I ordered one. So it counts. Not an employee, but when my family was on vacation in Florida, we went to a all-you-can-eat pizza place. For dessert they had these really tasty sticky buns that were in big demand. So me and my dad are in line to get one, and once they put them out, some big guy at the front of the line literally just picked up the whole tray and walked back to his table. It was like 30 cinnamon buns. Nobody else at his table. Not an employee, but I know someone. Let's say she may or may not be my mom. Goes in the cupboard before the trip to the buffet and grabs a handful of the big freezer bags and shoves them in her massive purse. Flash forward, we are leaving. In the parking lot, on the way out to the car, and the freaking strap on her purse broke from weight. It was closed, so nothing fell out, but geez. It's not like This family had to worry about where the next meal was coming from or something. It was more about the thrill of the hunt. A few years back when Golden Corral first got the chocolate fountains, I went there and was going to try it out. As I was walking up to the fountain and I started to contemplate what I was going to have, a toddler takes his drink and just pours that motherfucker into the fountain and ruins it. So anyways, the manager comes over and is going ballistic because they had just set it up for the day and now they would completely have to replace the chocolate. Shortly after, this man comes up and decides he wants some chocolate brownies, but he can't as the machine is being purged in the back of the place. So what does he do? The guy just puts his tray down and leaves the restaurant, goes to the toddler's family's car and slashes their tires. He was never caught after that. That man was a different kind of devoted that the world needs. Had a friend who worked at the Golden Corral for college money. Most of his stories are mirrored here. Vomit, fat people, kids licking spoons. The only thing I can add is that he said fat people often don't eat much more than normal people. They just eat higher calorie portions. Like drown their chicken wings in ranch soup. And that's just fine for the business, because the cost of many high calorie items are much cheaper per pound than healthy stuff. Bad chicken tastes the same as good chicken when deep fried. Cake and soft serve are mostly air. The worst, he said, were people who took food and stuffed it in pockets, purses, backpacks, or whatever for later. He said there were repeat offenders they routinely had to throw out, but they eventually came back when the management changed. They knew those places had high employee turnover. Offenders were the elderly and large families with lots of kids. I'm not an employee, nor do I frequent buffets, but my senior lunch in high school was a trip to Golden Corral. As soon as I walk in, I see a large obese woman hunched over a table close to the buffet, eating fried chicken, placing the near bare bones onto her plate, and stroking her hair back with chicken grease caked fingers. She had a few plates stacked on top of each other with the remnants of chicken bones poking out between the plates. All you can eat employee, not with a buffet but with servings. Usually a lot of drunk students visit us, throwing food at each other, peeing over chairs. Worst thing is that my boss is in some kind of midlife crisis, so she usually starts drinking with them in front of other guests. All you can drink, including wine and beer. So one time I made a joke that she could join me and my friends for a party. When we were at the club she actually showed up, ordering €50 worth of beer. €1 each lol. I then purposely lost her in the club. At some point at night she was totally messed up, was dragged out by security. I looked for her, found her fighting with 4 big security guys. Eventually she was taken home by the police. Talk about escalation. At a fish and chips place, an overweight guy loaded up like 5 or 6 solid pieces of cod and fries with coleslaw and a few buns. I'm sitting there disgusted at how someone can eat that many pieces and still feel okay. Plot twist. As he starts to cut up the first piece, he pauses, as if he were deep in thought and having an internal struggle. He then offers all his fish to a couple who just arrived and sat near him, and they happily accept. Then he separately ordered a grilled salmon with veggies, which was not part of the buffet at the time, so he paid twice. Great turnaround. I was in Las Vegas with 2 co-workers and we went to the Wine buffet. One co-worker is a vegan and the wine has a huge vegan section, since Steve Wine is a vegan. While we were eating a couple came in and sat next to us. This was a skinny guy fat girl couple, but not like normal skinny guy fat girl, like 120 pound guy 400 plus lb girl, way outside the normal range. They went to the dessert section, not a table, it's like a dessert room, and must have gotten one of all 50 desserts. They say there, and he fed her all the dessert. He ate nothing, even though it cost him like $70 to get in. Then they left. He hand-fed probably 50 desserts before we were done eating.